Today's reading will be reading Milk and Honey Devotional. Esther, a time of purpose. If you keep silent at this time, believe in the deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place, where you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Do we greet unexpected moments in life with a welcome hello? When we're introduced to moments we'd rather not face, we meet more than the moment, we meet ourselves. Coming face to face with who we are is something we'll probably shy away from rather than step into. Perhaps it's because where we like to see faith, we see fear. Where we like to see trust, we see worry. When we like to feel strong, we feel weak. Maybe the moment you arrived at today has left you feeling unprepared and powerless. What if this moment is not an accident, but an appointed opportunity? What if it's not dead end, but an invitation to open the door of purpose? For such a time as this is one of the most beloved and quoted scriptures, and is typically associated with serendipitous moment. But how did Esther view the time playing out in front of her? Through eyes of favor, feeling divinely chosen to rise to the occasion. Perhaps the story sheds a different light on its meaning. Esther faced a dilemma when a new law threatened to be the end of the Jewish nation if she didn't speak up. The problem was that she had to risk her life to save theirs. Esther didn't want to go before the king, so Mordecai scolded her. Who knows whether we have not come to the kingdom with such a time as this? Esther 4:14. This was hardly an endearing moment. Esther's for such a time as this was a rebuke for considering her own safety over the lives of countless others. In the end, she decided to face the king with the declaration, "If I perish, I perish." Esther 4:16, which was likely said with bone-chilling fear in her soul, rather than courage in her heart. God worked a great victory through Esther by calling her to devotion to a kingdom higher than her own. As we look carefully at Queen Esther, we catch a glimpse of King Jesus. As Jesus knelt with a heavy heart to pray in the garden during the final moments before he faced the cross, he too arrived at the hour for which he had come. Esther was spared and saved the whole nation. Jesus was not spared and saved the whole world. This was the moment he came for. His royal moment was not wrapped in pleasure, but robed in pain. This was his moment to be lifted up, not on a pedestal, but on a cross. His time to be crowned, not with gold, but with thorns. His moment, too, of a sorrow that filled his soul. Going a little farther, he fell on his face and prayed, saying, "My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Matthew 26:39. Even with grief, he was able to endure the road to Calvary because of the joy set before him. He didn't think of himself first, but instead laid his body down to swing wide the doors of salvation for you and me, a sacrifice that created the way to his kingdom, not of this world, but for this world. This surrender turned victory didn't end in the grave, but with the beating hearts of a rising king. When our special time as this moment arrives, may we recognize it, even if it's not wrapped in a bow. If we try to live a life free of pain, we'll of course find we can't escape it. But if we see the purpose in the pain, we'll find that a life well lived won't escape us. Perhaps the most fulfilling thing we ever do is to be emptied of ourselves. If we live for ourselves, we wear nothing more than a perishable crown. May we surrender to our purpose and hear Jesus says, "Whoever seeks to preserve his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life will keep it." Luke 17:33. Because with Jesus, to live is to Christ, and to die is gain. Philippians 1:21.